Day 51 of rereading my Bible, and I read Judges 8. So after battle, Gideon takes his 300 men and continues to pursue the remaining Midianite kings, Zebah and Zalmunna, across the Jordan River. And he and his troops stop at two different towns on the way, Succoth and Penuel. But both of these towns, even though they are Israel towns, they refuse to give him food. So he promises that when he's done, he's going to come back and punish them for it. And after he captures the kings, that's exactly what he does. He stops back by Succoth and Penuel and punches them with thorns and briars and tears down the tower of Penuel. Gideon returns home and he kills those two kings to revenge the death of his brothers. And he takes the ornaments, the crescent-shaped ornaments that they had around their camels, for himself. At this time, his people say, "We think you should be king." And he's like, "No, the Lord is going to be the king." However, he does collect all the gold from their spoils, and he asks people in his town to bring him gold and garments and things. And he makes this really elaborate priestly ephod, or like the breastplate that goes on a priest outfit. And in fact, this item becomes what they say is a snare to his family. It becomes this item of worship for him and his tribe. And even though Israel experienced a time of peace, again, another generation of peace, about 40 years after he died, the Israelites fell back into idolatry, worshiping Baal. So this is a sad story. I mean, we have this appointed deliverer by God whose usefulness is eroded by pride, anger, and vengeance, and idolatry. Doesn't that remind you of the hope that we place in our own political and religious leaders sometimes, just for them to disappoint us? I mean, heroes have a way of disappointing us. They may be heroic one moment, but if you know them long enough, they will let you down. But then I was thinking back to Genesis and how before God made Eve to accompany Adam, he let him meet every single animal and name every single animal in the garden to see that none of them were a match for him. And it made me think, as I'm reading through the story of the Israelites, that God is allowing every kind of leader, judges, kings, prophets, all of them human, and all of them eventually disappoint at some point, until he brings along Jesus, the Messiah, who is the real appointed deliverer, who is flawless and never disappoints. The only right deliverer who can heal, sanctify, atone his people without falling into human traps of sin.